Interstate 435. Yeah. All right, we did the inner loop of 435. Today we are going to take a look at the outer loop, mainly because the Chiefs are playing the Bengals. I feel like between the 252 videos and the 275 video, 3 videos on Cincinnati in a year is enough, considering, I don't know, there's only so much I have to say about Skyline Chili and Kings Island, and that's the only stuff in Cincinnati I know. Let's take a look at the route of 435. 435 does a loop around the city of Kansas City and actually enters both Kansas City, Missouri and Kansas City, Kansas. It passes right near Arrowhead Stadium, and it passes right near where new Arrowhead Stadium will be in the Kansas side. And this is also the only Kansas City only video that I have planned for the Chiefs season this year, other than who knows what happens in the playoffs. All right, let's take a look at the outer loop of 435. I'm going to start where K10 ends at 435. So we see this east K10 and east 435 straight ahead. Don't know why they involve having K10 in there, because K10 ends right here. There's no further exits for it. 35 for Wichita and Des Moines, and north 435 for Kansas doesn't like signing 435, so they don't tell you anything. On the ramp for the new Johnson County Gateway interchange that has been revamped over the last few years, Lackman Road is going to be our first exit as we join 435, exit 1A. Here's where we actually join 435, and we see our exit for Lackman Road. You're watching Control City Freak. This is the YouTube channel where we talk about highways and the places that they're signed to go to. If you dig this kind of content, why not give us a like? If you really like it, why not subscribe? Yeah, smash that subscribe. Fully on 435, merging in after K10, and the ramps from K10 and its intersection with 35 are still down there. So we see 35 North Des Moines and South Wichita. Here's what it looked like in 2015 before they did all this construction, and back then we saw 435 East, and we actually had an exit for I-35 right off of 435 East. Now that exit is further upstream, actually on 435 South. We'll see it later. We still get no Control Cities 435 East. We are meeting US 69 shortly, and we are getting Quivira Road now. And we get US 69 North and South Antioch Road right up ahead. We don't get any Control Cities on here, but we used to, so they're kind of getting worse about this in Kansas. Looking back in 2008, we did get a South 69 for Fort Scott. I don't know why they got rid of that. That was kind of cool. They've totally redone this interchange. Here's what it looks like with a couple of flyovers, but with all the work they've done and all the money they've spent on it, it's still mostly a cloverleaf. As long as they're rebuilding it all, why not just change it to a proper stack? We're meeting Metcalf Avenue. This used to be 169, and 435, we just get 435 East. At the Metcalf interchange, again, just 435 East. No Control City given. And right now is a good time to tell you that you can request your favorite exit on any road that I'm going to be doing, or the all request episode. And you can do that with a $5 super sticker, and I'll hook you up. Thanks so much for those of you who have. We've also got a Patreon going, and anybody who has a paid membership of the Patreon will get a free request in this all request show, and can also make monthly requests on other videos. We get a laundry list here, and we get State Line Road, Warnell Road, and Holmes Road. Here is State Line Road. We see north and south differentiated, but we still just get 435 East. And welcome to Missouri. No big surprise after passing State Line Road. And once we're in Missouri, we are also in Kansas City, Missouri. So city limit, Kansas City. Here's the exit for Warnell Road. If you go north on Warnell Road a bit, you get to the Ward Parkway area. And if you continue up, you also get to the Brookside area, which is a bunch of bars and restaurants and stuff. I went there a few times in college. It was pretty fun. Here's our exit for Holmes Road, which is our last exit for a while. 470, US 50, I-49, and US 71. Kind of a weird way to arrange those in 2.5 miles. The Grandview Triangle, where these exits are, 4971 South Grandview and Joplin. Should be Springfield. 470 and US 50 for Lee's Summit. North 435, we finally get a Control City. We're North 435 Des Moines now. North 71 for Kansas City. That is the Bruce R. Watkins Drive. So here's our exit for North US 71, North 435 at this point, no longer on East 435. Bannister Road, good old Bannister Mall, the gone but not forgotten mega mall of the east side of Kansas City. Gregory Boulevard, this is the exit for Swope Park and the Starlight Theater. Theater, and we're getting 2 Missouri Highway 350 63rd Street shortly. 63rd Street, and we are getting Blue Parkway and Eastwood Traffic Way. I've never gotten off at either of those exits, but both those names have always kind of intrigued me. Here's our exit for Blue Parkway, which I think used to be Missouri Highway 350 and US 50. I remember seeing the signs for that. 435 North Des Moines, and a laundry list of exits right here as well. Here's our exit for Eastwood Traffic Way. We are getting the stadium exits up ahead. Stadium Drive, Raytown Road Sports Complex. Stadium Drive Sports Complex and Raytown Road Sports Complex. You can get to it from either way. On that distributor ramp leaving 435, here's the exit for Raytown Road Sports Complex, which I think I've taken like once or twice, and Stadium Drive Sports Complex is a standard way that I've gone a million times. I don't know why, but for whatever reason, almost every Royals game I went to as a kid, we always took 435 and Stadium Drive, and every Chiefs game, we always took I-70 and Blue Ridge Cutoff for basically the same parking lot. Not sure why. In the stadium area, see that long distributor ramp leaving with the exit for Raytown Road, and then for Stadium Drive, and Stadium Drive takes you right over to Lot N, the cheap parking for the Royals. Maybe that's why we did it. I-70 and for some reason US 24, East 70 St. Louis and Sports Complex. You can still get to the stadiums by taking 70. West 70 and 24. I don't know why they moved 24 off of Independence Avenue, Kansas City, and we are now merged with US 24, North 435 and East US 24 for Des Moines. Coming from eastbound 70, we have a choice of southbound 435 for Wichita, Blue Ridge Cutoff Sports Complex. On 70, you get the exit for the Sports Complex before 435 now. We go right under US 40, and US 40, we did an episode about it last week, and that episode ended right before this bridge. So check out that episode right over there. We're meeting Missouri Highway 78, which is 23rd Street, Missouri Highway 12, 12th Street, Truman Road coming shortly. US 24 East, Winter Road, and Independence Avenue. This used to be just US 24. I don't know why they took 24 off of Independence Avenue, because from this point it's a straight shot back to downtown Kansas City on a surface street on 24. We are on North 435 and Front Street, Kansas City's most beautiful area, coming up soon. Here it is, 435 and Front Street. I saw a thread telling Cardinals fans, check out the most beautiful parts of Kansas City, 435 and Front Street. Here is our bridge over the Missouri River. That is the Ameristar Casino there in the distance, which I feel like I always lost at that one. Missouri 210, which heads to North Kansas City and Richmond. Parvin Road, 48th Street, the exit for Worlds of Fun and Oceans of Fun. I-35 and US 69 coming shortly. We are on North 435. From the start of this episode until now is a part of 435 that I went on a zillion times as a kid, going to Worlds of Fun or to a game or to Bannister Mall. But beyond here, I've not been on nearly so much. And here is Worlds of Fun as we pass by it. Good view on northbound 435. And here's our exit for US 69 Claycomo, along with I-35 South Kansas City and North 35 for Des Moines. We are getting 435 North for KCI Airport, good. St. Joseph, not so good. Highway 152, which heads to Liberty, East Liberty, and west. Sometimes it has Topeka as its westbound control city, which is a little weird because you have to angle down or whatever. And on Missouri 152, it is South 435 St. Louis, which again feels weird, but I guess makes sense because we're meeting I-70, and 435 North St. Joseph. Missouri 291 Cookingham Drive for the first of 3 times at exit 45, and we're going to be roughly parallel with it. In fact, here is our big curve where we are now going to be on West 435. Get a nice sign here telling us 169, 2 minutes, KCI Airport 5 minutes. Never much traffic on this road. 169, sign for Riverside and Smithville, West 435 for KCI Airport and St. Joe's. Here's another exit with Cookingham Drive. I-29 is coming up, so South 229 and 71, and the airport exit coming up in 1.25 miles. So here you exit, actually they don't tell you, but it's on to Cookingham Drive once again. 29 southbound can be accessed from this point by heading over to the airport, and then you can head south. We are going to be merging into northbound I-29 and 71. We're signed now for St. Joseph and Topeka. We merge into northbound I-29. North of the airport, we get Mexico City Avenue. If you're coming from the other way, the old heads know that's the back way to the airport. We're going to exit I-29. I-29 is signed for St. Joseph, which I went to for the first time a couple years ago for Chiefs training camp, and it's so close to Kansas City. It's basically in the KC Metro, and it is in the KC CSA. Should be signed for Omaha and 435 South Topeka, which feels weird. And here is our big ramp heading over to southbound 435. You get Highway D, Northwest 120th Street. I get annoyed both by the Northwest thing, signing everything northwest if you're north of the river and west of whichever line. Seems kind of weird. They got to do it all the time, northwest, northeast. Just sign it west and east. And D, the county roads in Missouri. I've never liked these letter county roads, so all around, meh. Another Northwest, another letter road, and Missouri Highway 152 and Berry Road. Here's Missouri 45 for Parkville and Weston. My dad's best friend lives right around this area. The Missouri River once again, and Kansas State Line, Wyandotte County line as we head in. Kansas City city limit, because we are entering Kansas City, Kansas. And now we get a proper Welcome to Kansas sign. Kansas Highway 5, Walcott Drive, northbound Kansas Highway 5. Kansas Highway 5 is concurrent with us for a little bit, and southbound is going to be leaving us here at Leavenworth Road. Parallel Parkway. Great name for a street. And here's the exit for State Avenue, and the interchange for I-70, Topeka and St. Louis is coming up shortly. We're getting just 435 south because we're on the Kansas side. This used to look a little bit different. This is back in 2007. 24, 40, and 73 all used to be on State Avenue right here, but they took all of them off State Avenue, and State Avenue is just maintained by the city, I guess now. This is the Legends area, so this is where new Arrowhead's probably going to be going. I hope Royals don't move over here as well. I really think the Royals should move downtown. And here's our actual ramps for I-70, signed for Topeka and St. Louis, and we're signed for nothing. Out there in the distance, we've got the NASCAR track, and we've got the Hollywood Casino, where my brother's bachelor party was, and we cleaned up on the blackjack table. That was an awesome run. Just south of I-70, this is the section of 435 I'm almost never on. Apart from the airport until I-70, I've been on a whole lot of times going to the airport, but this part, going down between here and K10, never have any need to be on this part. We get a laundry list of exits here. K32, which doesn't have a marked sign for it, I believe. Wooden Road and Holiday Drive. In fact, yeah, here's the exit for K32, but there was no sign beforehand telling us K32 because it comes right after a different exit. The Kansas River, so we'll be heading into Johnson County, Kansas, and we get a laundry list of exits as we cross that. Holiday Drive, Johnson Drive, and Shawnee Mission Parkway. Shawnee Mission Parkway used to be US 50 and 56, and further up the pike it is, but here is the exit for it. And here's where Shawnee Mission Parkway goes right over our heads, and we got Midland Drive coming up. 95th Street is our last exit before we get back to the 435, 35, K10, Johnson County Gateway thing. We get exit 1B, K10, Lawrence, and exit 83 right after that, I-35, Wichita, Des Moines, only a quarter mile down the road. When we are still on southbound 435 but about to curve east, we get the exit for I-35, which will join the K10 lanes that are heading toward I-35. East 435 toward the left, US 56, US 169, and US 50 would all involve getting off onto I-35. And on the ramps to I-35, we see they have a chance to get on Lackman Road, and I-35 for Wichita and Des Moines straight ahead. Here is the actual curve where 435 heads back to become East 435 once again. K10 is merging with us, so that will mean we've covered the entire loop now, both ways. Alright, let's take a look at Todd's the way it should be for 435. For the outer loop, I'm going to say it should be Overland Park, right off of K10. Second biggest city in Kansas. I know it's a suburb, but sign something. Then I would say Springfield, because that's what I-49 should be signed for. Stadiums and Des Moines. Then just Des Moines once you are past the stadiums. KCI once we're north of I-35. When we're briefly concurrent with I-29, it should be signed for Omaha, because that's what I-29 should be signed for. Southbound 435 from there, I think just sign it Kansas. Signing it Topeka just feels weird for a southbound road, because going to Kansas City, Kansas, you get to Lawrence that way, you get to Topeka that way. Kansas works. Then sign it for Topeka once we cross the Missouri River and I-70 is going to be nearer. I wouldn't sign it for Lawrence right at the 70 interchange, because you can get to Lawrence on 70. Sign it maybe Lenexa, because that's where we're going to be meeting K10. Sign it from Lawrence once we cross the Kansas River, and then finally back to Overland Park. Alright, thank you so much for watching this episode of Control City Freak. I really appreciate it. And next week, we are going to Atlanta, doing something totally new. We're doing 285, so that should be interesting. Exit requests are closed for that by now, but there are many roads that you can check out in the description of this video that are coming up. And until next time, my name is Todd, and keep on trucking.